everything changes.
Hi, it's Pastor Ann.
Hi from Miss Jordan.
Hey, it's Miss Anna.
Hey friends, it's Miss Alyssa.
Hi, it's Miss Jacqueline.
Hi, it's Miss Wendy. Hey everyone, it's me, Miss Dina. I'm so glad you're here.
Hey you guys, it's Miss Jordan from RPC Online. I'm so pumped for today's awesome Bible story. I am out here outside at the Richmond campus, over by the lake and the fishing hut. I might even take a little bit of time to try to catch a fish and practice peace. Peace is proving that you care more about others than winning an argument. I know that it is hard, especially for someone like me. When I know that I'm right and someone else doesn't believe me, it really makes me frustrated. Have you ever felt that way? Surely I'm not alone. I know that when I have the right idea or my way is better or whatever the case may be, it's hard for me to choose peace over being right in a situation. Here's what I want the other person in any conversation to know, is that I value that person more than being right. And the way that I can do that is to choose peace instead of choosing my perspective. So today in our Bible story, we're going to be in the book of Colossians. We're going to be talking about how peace comes from Jesus. Last weekend we celebrated Easter. Woohoo! Easter is a story that changed everything, so I get really excited about it. Jesus came, this perfect, amazing person here on earth, God's son, never messed up, ever. Not one mistake in his whole life. He's perfect. And he took on the weight of all of our bad choices, all of our sin, and died on the cross to pay the price for them, the ultimate sacrifice, his own life. He died, was buried, then rose again. He's alive 3 days later after he died on the cross. And now, because of that sacrifice and because of that miracle, we get to have a relationship with God forever. We get to be part of God's family forever if we just believe. That Easter story is the best news ever. And because of that, we are able to choose peace. So I know that today, and the rest of the month of April, as we talk about peace, you and me can help each other and encourage each other to choose peace instead of choosing our own perspective. So join me for worship now. We're going to get our groove on. You know how I like to dance and sing. I'll see you back in a second.
You're my courage, I don't have to be afraid. You're my fortress, no matter what comes my way. You're my treasure forever, yes, we'll be together always. Even when the days get harder, I know you'll rescue me. Even when the sky is darker, I know you'll bring me peace. You are my strength, you are my savior. peace. You are my strength. You are my savior. Oh, even when the road gets longer, I know you'll be with me. Even when the waves crash harder, your face is all I see. You are my strength. You are my savior.
Okay, now that we're back, I want to tell you a little bit more about what Apostle Paul, which is one of Jesus' friends, wrote in the book of Colossians in the Bible. He was telling us how important it is together as people to live in peace and to work together. We were made up as the body of Christ, and that means that all of us have a special, unique gift that God has given us to help make the whole body work. Our body has lots of parts, right? And they all work together. For example, if you want to walk across a room, then your brain has to tell your legs that they have to move to get there. If you touch something that's hot on the stove, your brain tells your body to let go of the thing that was hot, and your eyeballs to look at your hand to see if you burned it. All these different parts, they work together all the time. That's kind of an example of what the body of Christ means. We are all working together all the time to fulfill different gifts that God has given us. You might be really good at listening, and another friend might be really good at teaching. Those are some examples of how we can work together to use our strengths and gifts to bring peace, right? To have one unit operating together. So here's what I want you to look at today. Our memory verse is going to help us to remember how to have peace and when to have peace. Take a look at this. So let us do all we can to live in peace, and let us work hard to build up one another. Romans 14:9. That second part, it's so important. Let us do all we can to build up one another. Because remember, that body of Christ is working together. So it's my job to encourage you, and it's your job to encourage me. And part of encouraging each other is to work and live in peace so that we can all be our best and be supported. I'm going to take a little break to do some fishing. You guys go check out our video, and I'll be back in a few minutes.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of Colossians. Chapter 3, verse 15.
In a letter written to the Colossian church, the Apostle Paul wrote, "Let the peace that Christ gives rule in your hearts. As parts of one body, you were appointed to live in peace and be thankful." Now let's see what that truth may look like played out in our lives today. Katie wiped the sweat from her forehead and took a long drink from her water bottle.
How is it this hot in April?
She looked back at the long patch of scrubby ground on the corner lot by Miss Watson's house. Her friends, Caleb and Nona, were both pulling weeds too.
I thought we'd be done before lunch.
It'll take us days to clear out all this brush.
All three kids lived in the same neighborhood and were in Mr. Benson's 7th grade social studies class. It had been Katie's bright idea to start a neighborhood garden for their community service project.
Well, we have to finish, unless you want to fail social studies.
Even though the friends had been working for a couple of hours already, they'd only cleared the brambles from a small patch of land at the corner.
Even when we finish pulling weeds, we still have to dig up the dirt.
Yeah, and plant the seeds and water them and stuff.
Look, we just need to get it done. I really want an A, okay? Let's use what we've cleared so far and pick one thing to plant.
Sunflowers.
What?
They're big. They're bold. They'll brighten up the whole neighborhood.
I don't want to plant flowers.
Katie did a quick search on her phone for backup.
Plus, you aren't supposed to plant sunflowers until summer. That's a big fat fail for class.
Well, it feels like summer.
We should plant a pumpkin patch. I mean, how awesome will it be to have all the little kids come right here to get their pumpkins in the fall?
That's like half a year away.
You guys.
Plus 2 words, pumpkin pie.
2 more words, is disgusting.
Katie jumped right between her sparring friends.
You guys, we need something easy that will actually grow now before the end of the school year. I looked it up.
She held up her phone and showed them a picture of small flowers with viney green stalks.
What are those even?
You have got to be kidding me.
Katie checked her screen again.
Petunias. We can plant them right here by the stop sign. They grow super fast, we'll get a good pick for class, and then we're done.
I thought the whole point of this was to help people.
Petunias are nice.
This is ridiculous. Something that small will just get overrun by all the weeds we haven't pulled.
You got a better idea?
Yeah, sunflowers. You know, something big and beautiful.
Or pumpkins!
Katie ripped off her gardening gloves and hurled them into the dirt.
Fine. Do your own community service project.
You're quitting the garden?
It's not a garden, it's a weedy dirt patch.
I'll do my own project.
Katie grabbed her water bottle and her tools and stalked off.
I cannot believe them.
At home, Katie kicked off her muddy shoes and hurled her dirty gloves on the floor.
How'd it go, sweetie?
Awful. We hardly cleared any weeds, and Nona and Caleb wouldn't listen to my idea about what to plant.
It is a pretty big project.
I'm doing my own.
Isn't it a group thing?
Nona and Caleb don't even care about the grade. They want to do all this stuff with pumpkins and sunflowers and stuff we'll never even finish.
I get it. It's a lot easier to keep it small, but it's up to you whether you want to hold on to being angry or go make this right with your friends.
They started it.
Look, God designed you to be at peace on the inside, peace with Him and with others.
Okay, yeah, I don't know where to start.
You could start with more help. I bet Miss Watson would be willing to lend a hand since that weedy patch is right by her yard.
Maybe. Oh, and Mrs. Garcia is always trying to start a garden in their backyard, but she says it's too shady.
Maybe she'd like to help.
Katie nodded slowly. After lunch, she took a trip around the neighborhood and spotted Caleb shooting some hoops in his driveway. Then she dragged him across the street to knock on Nona's door.
You realize I don't want to talk about this?
I don't want to talk about this.
Just give me a minute. Both of you, please.
Caleb and Nona stared at Katie, arms crossed.
I'm really sorry. I got so stuck on making an A that I didn't listen to your ideas. I was just so hot and frustrated.
Katie's friends waited.
I talked to Mrs. Watson and the Garcias and that family with the little kids by the stop sign. They all want a garden, like a big vegetable garden. They want to help us.
Really?
We could clear the lot pretty fast with that much help.
And we can plant everything, tomatoes and beans and carrots and sunflowers and pumpkins and whatever people want to eat. We'll have to help keep it up over the summer, though.
All the way to pumpkin season.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm in.
Caleb gave Katie a high five. Then they both turned to Nona. She hesitated.
Okay, sure, but you're not gonna get me to eat pumpkin pie, because sweet potato is way better.
Deal.
The Garcias can help out tomorrow afternoon, so we can get back to it then.
Katie headed home, relieved that she was on good terms with her friends again and at peace on the inside. She was living out the truth of Paul's words. Let the peace that Christ gives rule in your hearts. As parts of one body, you are appointed to live in peace and be thankful.
All right, you guys, I am going to pray us out for today. I had a great time with you learning about peace, how we can encourage one another, support one another, and build each other up. I know even today, you're going to have a chance to do that. So I challenge you to find a way in your family, in your friends, at school with your classmates, somewhere that you can build someone up so that they know how valuable and special they are to God. And when you're in a conflict, to choose peace over getting your way. Let's fold our hands and bow our heads. Dear God, thank you so much for this amazing week, for giving us the gift of Jesus so that we could have peace because of you forever. God, we ask that you would help us to practice patience as we choose peace, even when it is the hard thing to do. We love you so much. Amen. Bye, friends. I will see you next time.